Good afternoon, race fans. Welcome here to the Texas Motor Speedway as we're getting set for the next race, being race number 8 of the second season of the NASCAR Busch Series, powered by the WRA. Yes, we finally got our little technical issue with my recording software done. Otherwise, I would have had this weekend done like that. So, yeah, apologies for that. It did the recording for the truck race early this morning. As of this recording, it everything went smoothly. So hopefully that will be the last setback I'm going to have here this weekend as we get ready for our 8th race here in this second season of the Busch Series. Shyla Askarov took part in the truck race yesterday. Had a good result, if I'm not mistaken, in the truck race. She is on the pole for the Busch race. She's also on the front row for tomorrow afternoon's Winston Cup Series. Shyla is making her second start of the season, looking to build off her first career Busch start. That was, I think, back at Martinsville, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know. I'll have to go back through the races and confirm that with y'all. She is 58th in the points, by the way. Even though she's not running for the championship in this series, she's just using this for experience. So just giving you guys the FYI. Callie Springer, on the other hand, she is 26th in the points table. She is only 24 points above the 30th in the standings cut line. Jonathan Hoff is making another start. This is his third. He is 38th in the points. And Zach Foster took part in yesterday's Craftsman Truck Series race. I think that caution kind of screwed him over as he's going to start in the 4th position. It's the first time we have both Jacob and Zach Foster in this grid. It's also the first time Futaba Sakura is racing with her team owner Jacob Foster since, I want to say, the Black Mesa Truck Series last season. Looking down to the rest of the qualifying results you just saw, let's get these cars moving. Hopefully that'll be the last setback I'm going to have this season. Subject to change. As the field is already behind the pace car, let's go over the points table. Ashlyn Bright, our winner from Martinsville, is the points leader by 10 points over K Amirmoez. J.J. Palmer is third in the standings. He is 11 points back. 22 back is London Jackson, who is fourth. Daniel Gitiroyk lost the points lead after Pocono last week. He is fifth. Samad Oskin is 31 back in sixth. Emily Green, seventh, 42 points back. 44 back is Abigail Stone, who is 8th. Bora Park is 9th, and Quinton Moore completes the top 10. With that result from Shyla, she jumped up 3 spots to 25th in the points. Zach Foster dropped 6 spots down to 27th. So that caution that came out during the middle of green flag pit stops really hurt a number of people. Ashlyn Wright lost a lot of spots after yesterday. We had a part-time driver, by the way, go to victory lane in our truck race here yesterday. Here we come. The green flag's in the air. 67 laps, 100 miles. We're racing at Texas. In the Andes Frozen Custards 300. That is the race name for anyone asking. Andes is always a proud sponsor of my team. Also in the Truck Series, Ashton Ingersoll has taken the points lead going into the Truck Series race next week. Which I'm actually going to go ahead and update that now that I'm thinking about it. We're heading to Loudon, New Hampshire next week for all 3 series, as Shyla will lead the first lap. We raced here last season. Brad Blackman is the defending winner of this race, but he's not back in the series. The car that he drove is in this field with Brenda Eveling behind the wheel. Brenda Eveling is in that critical 30th in the points to stay locked into the show. So she needs a good run here today to keep herself falling out of the top 30 in points and having to qualify her way in next week when we go to Loudon, New Hampshire, as Callie Springer is going to try to take the lead on the 73. Drivers came to pit road around lap 32 to 34 in yesterday's Craftsman Truck Series race. I believe I still have it on ×2, which fuel strategy could play a major factor. A number of drivers who thought had enough fuel to make it the rest of the way ran out of fuel in yesterday's Truck Series race. And Shyla had a great run yesterday in the truck race. And she's going to be on the front row, going to be starting second in tomorrow afternoon's Winston Cup race. She's going to run the 80 car on the road courses. We thought she was going to run the 97 for the road courses. She's actually going to run the 80 car for the road courses and the other types of tracks we will go to. So there will be a different driver qualifying the 97 over on the Cup side. And Shyla's already had a busy day, of course. Qualified on the pole for this one. Almost did something that I don't think we've ever had happen before. Have a driver who is attempting to qualify for all three races. I don't think we've ever had a single driver qualify on the pole in two of the three races. Shyla nearly pulled it off, but still, for her to qualify on the front row for both this race and tomorrow's Winston Cup race shows you that that driver from Kyrgyzstan has a lot of raw talent. And if there are rumors that Shyla Askarov is going Cup racing next season, I think we should keep an eye on what she can do. I mean, if she wants to work her way up the ladder, that's fine, because I'm not going to push her rushing herself up. But still, for her to have a pole for this race, a front row start in tomorrow's Winston Cup race, she's really going to be leaving this weekend with her held up high. I know she's dropping back through the running order, but to say Shyla Askarov almost did the impossible is a bit of an understatement. There's Futaba Sakura. There's been some rumors that Futaba Sakura is also going to actually take over the 97 for Shyla Askarov in the races that she was going to do the road course events. Which wouldn't hurt for Futaba, knowing she's a really good race car driver, and she's running second right now in the Vergaro Home Depot Chevy. I think she's the only gal on this team, if I'm not mistaken. Because Tula Tupola is the only guy. He's running in 40th. And then the 20 did not enter this race. That's Michael Brown. Yeah, she is the only gal on this team. But Futaba doing very good. Of course, outqualified her team owner, Jacob Foster, but I don't think Jacob minds, because Jacob's really been impressed with Futaba this weekend, and so have I. Jacob running in 18th. Of course, we're still like 12 laps into this race. Morgan Le Fay, former winner this season, running in third in the Winfield Chevrolet. Don't think I brought this up, but Gretchen Miller is still the rookie points leader, but she's tied with Bora Park for the rookie points lead, and it's really tight. I can tell you that for sure. Morgan Le Fay comes into this race 18th in the points, lost 5 spots after last week's race at Pocono. as Sakura just got around Callie Springer. Which I also didn't realize both of the Springer girls are in the show this week, which I didn't realize that till just now. Boy, Futaba's really having a good car on the high side. Futaba had a good season in the Black Mesa Truck Series, finished top 15 in the points in the 7 races we did this season, or this past season. She is making her second start of her Busch Series career. There's Samad Ozkan. Samad is one of 3 drivers racing from the country of Sweden. The others are my 2 drivers, Ben and Chloe Erickson. Of course, Chloe did not qualify for it. Neither Chloe nor Ben qualified for the Mars Winston Cup race. Figia, um, Sweden is where Sama is from. Chloe and Ben are from Stockholm. As Ozkan just got around Futaba for the race lead. And there's Ricky Cervantes, former former Coca-Cola Truck Series driver and champion. Which I find it weird for this Busch Series. We have 2 of the 3 champions that are former champions. Ricky Cervantes, I mentioned, former Coca-Cola Truck Series champ. Marco Diaz, former Buffalo Wild Wings Series champion, racing in this series. I find that really funny, to be honest with you. And then in the Cup Series, you got, Cody Smart, former Foster Series champion. Annie Thomas, former Monster Energy Series champion. Jacob Tutu, the last ever Monster Energy Series champion. And then Ponzo Alvarez, the defending Winston Cup champ. Samad Ozkan now the leader. There's Shyla. She's the only Kyrgyzstan driver we have in this series, by the way. In fact, she's the only Kyrgyzstan driver we have out of the 3 series we are running on this channel. There's Alex Winters. Haven't talked much about Alex Winters. I just noticed the chat was flashing. Looks like Lauren Grubias has got a tire issue. Alex dropped a spot down to 20th in the points after last week's race at Pocono. Yep, looks like definitely a mechanical failure for the 43. I think she's a lap down. She's 5 laps down, actually. Oh, she just came back out on the track. Boy, a bad weekend just gotten worse. We're going to check back here to see about some of these drivers. Carolina Bradley. There's our points leader, Ashlyn Wright, back here in 37th. Mohammed Zain failed to qualify for the second weekend in a row in the Truck Series. Not doing his chances of getting back in the top 30 in that series any bit of good. Quinton Moore's back here at the rear of the field. There's Brenda Ealing back here at the rear of the field. Abigail Stone, Clayton Huntington Wolf made the show this week. Autumn McDowell, Tula Tupola, Xavier Allsopp, Gabe Litton. Or Litton. I think it's Litton. And that's not good for the 56 because he came his race 7 points above the cut line. This will no doubtably drop him out of the top 30 in the standings. Brenda Ealing needs to start moving forward because she's up that critical 30th in the standings, and she could be in danger of falling out of the top 30 in points. There's Ari Springer making her second start. She also got hit with a frying pan because she's on that number as far as the points are concerned. That's how many drivers that have raced this season. And she's on that number. Whoever's on that number at the end of the year will get whacked by Sean, Cody, or myself with a frying pan. Zach Foster running in 13th in the Mr. Clean Auto Dry Car Wash car this week on his Chevrolet. There's Luna Farmer. Luna failed to qualify for the Cup race. Same with Jacob Foster, but both of them having good runs. Olivia Jackson battling with Callie Springer. Olivia Jackson missed the race due to illness, but she's not missed a beat ever since. Comes into this race 22nd in the points. She is a total of 31 points above the 30th in the standings cut line, which with the way she's running right now, I think she's continuing to slowly move away from the 30th in the standings cut line as we're looking at Courtney Lynn. Courtney, of course, did not qualify for the Cup race. She's 24th in the points table in this series. What is the gap between herself and 30th in the standings? Courtney is 30 points above the 30th in the standings cut line, following rookie Marcus Sellers. So Courtney Lynn, her goal is to just try to get some good results to get away from 30th in the standings. I bet she's probably thinking to herself, oh no, not again. But unlike last season, this season, it's a completely different story because once you fall out of the top 30 in the points, it's not like the playoff situation where you have to get back in the top 30 in points. It's you got to stay in the top 30 in points to be locked into the show every week. Should point that out. So if I'm Courtney Lynn, I'd be concerned. But right now, she's running really well, so that's really good. But a number of drivers who are not running well that are running very well in the points. We saw where Ashlyn Wright is running. Where is the guy that's trying to run her down for the points lead? K Amirmoez running in 19th. Just a note, K is second in the points. What about the guy that's also trying to run down Ashlyn Wright for the Rookie of the Year honors? JJ Palmer, he's running in 20th. Just past the halfway point, oh, by the way. But of course, we've yet to have green flag pit stops in this race. There's Courtney Lynn. Courtney would like to win the Busch Championship to join her team owner Nathan Orman back up in the Cup Series. Of course, Courtney Lynn running part-time in the 25 over on the Cup side. Of course, as I said, did not qualify for the race. She really wants to win this Busch championship to prove to Ormy that she does belong into the Cup Series. As Cervantes checked out of the throttle for some reason. I don't know if his car got a bit tight through the center of the corner. He's about to lose third to Marcus Sellers. And he's getting a good run on the high side, but that's allowing Courtney Lynn to pull away and try to catch up to the Kleenex Scott Products Chevrolet out of Evans Motorsports. Samad Ozkan, a rookie in the second season. Courtney Lynn, last season, was in the Cup Series. Went to victory lane, as I've talked about numerous times on this channel this season. Went to victory lane last season, wasn't high enough in points to have her win count for a spot in the playoffs, even though she made the top 30 in the standings. Did not qualify for the playoffs. Decided that running full-time in the Busch Series for a championship was the smart way to go, and so far, it's been a bumpy road for Courtney Lynn. Also didn't mention this on Shyla Ascroft. Today is actually her birthday, believe it or not. She turned 19, so happy birthday. So great birthday gift for Shyla Ascroft, winning the pole and also making the Cup race. Oh, by the way, so I bet you there's going to be a nice little humongous birthday cake these drivers are going to be having with Shyla after this event is done. Of course, the Cup drivers will be also part of that party tonight. I don't know if they're going to go to a steakhouse or not, but we'll see. Of course, we will definitely see Shyla Ascroft and the other 41 drivers tomorrow afternoon in the Cup Series. I think I do have it on ×1. Of course, Luis Hernandez brought out our only caution of the truck race yesterday. And that was when drivers were coming to pit road. As Courtney's trying to get around the 7. The 7's trying to fight back. I think Courtney wants to get this lap led. Oh, if this was the finish, I think the 7 would have just beaten the 98. But these two are really fighting hard, but the problem is that's allowing Callie Springer, who just got around Cervantes, to catch right up to these two. So they need to clear each other right about now. Courtney's trying to get that lap led. I think she's going to succeed. And she will. So Courtney will now move into the lead. Ashlyn Wright has not made up any ground. We still have all 42 drivers on track, 41 of them on the lead lap. Clayton Huntington Wolf, the last of them. And we've yet to have a caution, oh, by the way. Summit is now down to second. Cervantes back to third. Morgan Le Fay fourth. Callie Springer's dropped back to fifth. London Jackson's up to sixth. Good run for London. Luna Farmer, Alex Winters, Futaba, Sakura, Zach Foster. That is your top 10. Let's see the chat deals. Uh-oh. Rosalinda Maston's had an engine problem. Yep, it has let go on that number 54, the Toys R Us Chevrolet, and she will more than likely be the first driver out of this race. That is a tough break for the 54 bunch. She is off the racetrack as far as the racing line is concerned. And she was 14th on the points, so this was not what she needed, as you're going to see as they have just gone around the 54. So Rosalinda Masterson will fail to finish. And this is going to drop her out of the top 15. Now I'll also move Lauren Grubius up into the 41st position if she has enough laps to get around the 54, which I think she does. And is a piston failure, so she has gone behind the wall now of the race. Tough break for the 54 bunch. Want to remind everybody this copyrighted broadcast is presented by the authority of the World Racing Association for the private use of our audience. Any reproduction or rebroadcast or retransmitted or any other disseminations or the use of this broadcast without the express written consent of the World Racing Association is prohibited. Blue Hedgehog TV and the World Racing Association want to thank you fans for your support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast. So here's what we got on tap here. Of course, we cap off our Texas weekend tomorrow afternoon. We have the Cup race that will go green at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Next week, all three series will head up to the New England area, Loudon, New Hampshire, at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway, which means Phelan Bradley will be back in the 09 attempting to qualify for that race. We'll have pole day qualifying for the Craftsman Truck Series next Thursday at 3. At 1 next Friday will be the Busch Series drivers pole day qualifying at Loudon. That'll be at 1. At 3, we'll have the Craftsman Truck Series race at Loudon. Saturday, we'll have the Cup drivers qualify at 1, Busch race at 3. Next Sunday at 1 at Loudon, New Hampshire, will be the Cup drivers. And of course, for the Cup drivers, they're counting down to All-Star Race Weekend. So time is running out for drivers who don't have a victory, that need to get a victory. Of course, the next three races will be comprised of New Hampshire, Dover, the Monster Mile. Yep, Miles the Monster awaits these drivers as Summit Oskin's going to try to take the lead back from Courtney Lynn. So at least Courtney's got a little bit of a cushion to help her between herself and the cut line. And then our first night race will be Darlington Raceway to wrap up the first half of the regular season for all three series. And then after that, it'll be just the Cup drivers as we'll head to Daytona for All-Star Race Weekend. As Courtney Lynn just got out of the throttle, looks like her car was getting a bit tight. But remember, these drivers have not come to pit road, just an FYI. And Grubius has passed the 54, so the 54 will finish in last. So we have 41 drivers on track, 40 of them on the lead lap. But when will these drivers come to pit road is the question. No matter what for Courtney Lynn, whether she has a good result or not, at least that lap lead is really going to help her build some more cushion between herself and the 30th in the standings cut line. There's London Jackson. London comes into this race fourth in the points. She's another one of those drivers who's also in the fight for the Rookie of the Year conversation. She was tied with D Gitiroyk, who, by the way, lost the points lead last week at Pocono. If you just joined us late here in the premiere of this race, Courtney Lynn just took the lead back. But who will have to come to pit road? That's going to be the question we have to talk about in this race. Because I'm not confident they're going to make it the rest of the way. Pit stops are going to play a factor in this race. They can only go 66, so they are about a lap short. Unless someone tries to gamble it, which I would be a little surprised if somebody does that. Just remember, we have not had a caution in this race, just an FYI. I believe we will have cautions in tomorrow's Winston Cup race because of the longer distance, 84 laps to be exact. At some point, these drivers are going to have to come to pit road. And this is big for Shyla Askarov, is like I said, we talked about this earlier at the top of the broadcast. What will she learn from this race that's going to help her for tomorrow's Winston Cup race? Which we always talk about that in this series. Ashlyn Wright's moved her way up to 23rd. Last time we saw her, she was like in the mid-30s. So at least she's trying to salvage something out of this race, and I think we got our answer. As the 28's got a tire going down. Is the caution out? No, we're still green. This might be a caution because Bora Park is going to be stopping on the racetrack, and she just missed the pit lane. Oh boy, they better not. Caution. That's going to be the race. That is unfortunately going to end this race. The bad news is Courtney Lynn already passed the start-finish line. But will these drivers have to pit before the checker flag? First caution of the day. No point of going back and looking at a replay. And we are definitely not going to get back to green, unfortunately, which is a shame. But that's the way the cookie crumbles. And I don't think anybody's going to make it on fuel. I'll be surprised. And oh, by the way, we're coming to the white flag. I'd like to remind you all. Are these drivers going to risk of just clutching it? They're more than likely going to have to clutch it. So Bora Park causes our only caution of the race. It will end the race under the yellow flag. And there's the white flag in the air. One more lap to go. Yep, this race is going to end under the yellow flag. Now the question is, I see a gap back there. Never mind. I thought I saw a gap back there, but I guess I was wrong. Courtney Lynn's going to have is just hoping and praying she can bring it home. So the caution, our first and our only caution of the day, Bora Park had a tire going down, missed pit road, had to come to a stop, was getting ready to come back on the racing line. The officials had no choice but to throw the caution, which makes a lot of sense. Unfortunately, it's going to end the race under the yellow flag as a result. And I can't believe we've gone 67 laps and these drivers have not ran out of gas, which I'm a little bit surprised. Well, I think I might have just jinxed it. No, it was the 28. That was the 28 who just came out of the pits. But here we come. The yellow and the checkers are out. I don't think Courtney Lynn minds. I think she'll run out of gas going into victory lane. I don't think she cares about that. First Busch Series win of her career. Courtney Lynn will win the Andes Frozen Custard 300. That winning move passing Summit Ozkan was what was the difference. And I bet you Courtney Lynn's out of fuel, so I bet you she was okay running out of fuel under the yellow flag. I can guarantee you that for certainty. This will definitely not only be her first career win, of course, glad it's in the Busch Series. It would also get her away from the cut line, the 30th in the standings cut line. Because remember, she came into this race, if I can find that 98, she was 24th in the points. This will get her away from 30th standings, and yep, she is out of fuel. She's probably happy to finally win a race. Finally a team owner who cares about her. London Jackson will get second. Morgan Le Fay third. Simon Ozkan fourth. Zach Foster comes back to battle for a fifth. Good run for Zach on a limited schedule. Alex Winters, Jamie Bonine. Kyle Langland didn't talk much about that 26 car all day long. Comes home in eighth. Thriller Tadwell, Callie Springer will complete the top 10. So good run for a couple of drivers we didn't even talk about. Thriller Tadwell, who raced his way in. Jamie Bonine had a quiet day today. As Luna Farmer is out of fuel, but she made it to, or not Luna Farmer, Courtney Lynn out of fuel, but hey, at least these drivers all made it to pit road. This is going to throw some monkey wrenches into the points table as you look on down through the rest of the finishing results. Ashley Wright will finish 22nd. She was the points leader coming into this race. Katsura finished 14th. He was second in points. But where did Palmer? He finished in 12th. But the problem is London Jackson finished ahead of all three of them. So it looks like London Jackson will not only take the rookie points lead, but the overall points lead heading into next week at Loudon. These drivers not going to be pretty happy. Gabe Litton, this will take him out of the top 30 in the standings. Same with Brenda Eveling, who was the last car to finish on the lead lap. Bora Park actually took her car back behind the wall with a puncture. So it was a tire that went down, and instead of just changing tires and finish the race, so she will finish one lap down because, remember, she did not reach the conclusion of the race. Lauren Gruby is 6 laps down with mechanical problems and with a tire issue. And, of course, Bora Park joins Rosalinda Masterson, who also didn't reach the conclusion, but it was a mechanical failure that took her out of this race, and she will finish in the 42nd position. Some of these drivers down here are the rest of the finishing results. I'm going to be concerned. Gitiroyk 22nd, 2 weeks in a row. Bad luck for him, but Texas has played its part in a point shakeup. We're guaranteed a point shakeup for sure heading into next week at Loudon, New Hampshire. But we got one more race to take care of tomorrow here at Texas, tomorrow afternoon at 2. It's the Cup Drivers race to cap off here at Texas. They will go green shortly at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is their 10th race of the season. Then next week we'll head to Loudon, New Hampshire for our race weekend for trucks, Busch, and Cup. Please give this video a like if you enjoyed today's race. Subscribe to become part of the World Racing Association crew today. We've shown your full finisher results. Your point standings are down in the description heading into next week's race. Now for our studio engineer, Caleb Hobbs. I'm D Tupola. Thank you for joining me and saying good night here in Fort Worth, Texas. We congratulate Courtney Lynn on her first career win here in the Busch Series. Coming up next, we'll rejoin the Infinity Network Sports Studios programming already in progress. We will talk to you again tomorrow on the World Racing Association's Multimedia Network.